CJ.
And I'm Robin.
Welcome to the Cozy Kitchen.
Come and make yourself comfortable here with us by the fire.
Let's chat about baking, friendship, and cozy hobbies. If there's time and enough tea, maybe we'll even unravel some fun backstories.
I mean, there should always be enough tea.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, CJ. Long time no see. I feel like we've been traveling a lot lately. How are you?
Yes. I am so glad to be back with you. It has been quite a bit of travel on my part. I was actually in Asia.
That's amazing. Yeah, you went to Taiwan, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It's technically my homeland because I was actually born there, but I was really raised here. A lot of good food in Taiwan.
Yes. Now, before we get into the more baking part of our segment here, I would love to learn about what kinds of things you ate in Taiwan, what kinds of things you really enjoyed. Do you want to start with the most amazing thing that you ate while you were there?
Yeah, so Taiwan is one of the most friendly places for vegetarians outside of, I would say the next country would be India. India is really great for vegetarians. Taiwan, like the food there is just, they are known for cheap, delicious food.
Love that.
Yeah, coming out of the train station from the airport, my partner and I were hungry and stopped by a 7-Eleven. And 7-Elevens, and there's another chain called Family Mart. They are open 24 hours. You just walk in and you can get a bite to eat. And for the two of us, we spent $5 US dollars on soy milk, some braised eggs, rice balls, and took care of breakfast on $5 between the two of us.
That's amazing. That's practically unheard of in the United States. Like you can't even get like a crappy breakfast sandwich from a fast food place for that much. That's crazy to me that you can. And because normally whenever you hear, oh yeah, the food here is not that expensive, that also comes with, oh, it also doesn't taste very good. There aren't a whole lot of nutritious ingredients, or it's a very small portion. But that does not sound like that was your experience. It sounds like you were able to get a really good bang for your buck and you were able to enjoy a really good breakfast without having to pay a whole lot for it. So that's
Yeah.
incredible. I'm not jealous at all. That's great. Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, but then there is a limitation, right? You're going to a different country, it's a completely different culture. So some foods are not necessarily available, one of which would be like Mexican food. Whenever I'm in Asia, any part of Asia,
Yeah.
I am missing Mexican food. Because in California, where I'm at, they have so many good options for Mexican food, but it's nearly non-existent in Asia. And even if there are any, the rare like find, it's just never right.
Interesting. That does make sense. There would just be certain cuisines that you wouldn't be able to have a lot of in certain countries, certain regions. And it makes me feel like you do see some of that in the United States. Like there are definitely some regions where it's a lot harder to find specific foods. But I 100% agree where you are in California. I remember whenever we lived out there, we got spoiled very much by just the wide variety of foods that you can find. Just in the one block alone where, I would walk up and down to get to work and I would commute there and everything. You had Mexican, you had Greek, there was an Indian Pakistani restaurant that I absolutely fell in love with called Zareen's, and it was really good. You had just like ramen places, and it was just such a wonderful thing to have such a variety of food that I could understand how it would be challenging to not have access at all to specific cuisines. Yeah, but it sounds like you had some really awesome food while you were there. So that's amazing. And let
Yeah.
me ask you, while you were there, like what kinds of things did you do? Did you get to go sightseeing, have a lot you mentioned that you were able to enjoy a lot of different kinds of food. Did you do any cooking or baking while you were there? Which is a weird question, but the crux of this episode.
Yeah. Taiwan is actually known for their night markets.
Mhm.
So the apartment we stayed at was right next to one of the oldest night markets in Taipei. Um,
Whoa, that's so
y
cool.
yeah, it's this one street near a temple, so it's named after the temple, and it is jam-packed with food stalls after food stalls. You can get one of the things we got was it's called in Chinese, it's called 炸弹 葱油饼, and that is literally translated to, like, bombshell scallion pancakes. Um
Oh my gosh. I've always wanted to try scallion pancakes.
Oh, I could teach you the recipe if you wanna make it at home, because it's actually very easy. You can get the ingredients, like, it's nothing that's, like, some esoteric, like,
Mhm.
ingredient that you can't get in America.
Oh, I would
But
love to try those.
yeah, but, like, at the stall, they basically say, "Okay, what do you want? Do you want it a little spicy? Do you wanna add an egg?" And they basically take this pancake, they deep fry it. That's why it's, like, bombshell 'cause it sizzles like crazy,
Mm,
and then
is that how all scallion pancakes are made, or is that this particular stall's kind of shtick?
yes, that's their shtick. It's more deep fried in this case, but you can make it at home that's not deep fried, it's just on a griddle.
Mhm.
So that's one of the more common ones that you see. There are other ones that are pretty famous for Taiwan, and that's stinky tofu.
Heard of stinky tofu. But is it something that you enjoy? Because I've heard that it can be a very polarizing food.
Yes, so I enjoy it because I've had it since I was young,
Mm.
and so it's a taste that I have acquired. But it's definitely an acquired taste. It's durian or natto. It has a stench to it that may not be pleasant.
Mhm.
Well, if you are a normal human being and you've never had this, you're gonna smell this and you're gonna say, "This has gone bad and you should not eat this."
Interesting. Is so how would you describe the taste of it then? Is it like a fungusy mushroom ordeal, or is it like how what does it taste like?
So it's tofu, right? So they
Mhm.
take tofu and they ferment it. And when as it's fermenting, like whatever cocktail of bacteria or fungus that's in there, is actually like eats away at the tofu. So you can you take a very firm tofu and it becomes more holy inside.
Oh,
Um,
like Swiss cheese.
yeah, exactly. It's like Swiss cheese. It's just more spongy, like and there are multiple ways that they cook it. So once it's been fermented, some of them will put it in like a stew, like a very hot braise. And they'll have other either vegetables or like seafood in it, and they serve it to you piping hot. And because it's at night, and especially in the winter times, it can be a little chillier. It's really soothing to just be outside and have a this hot pot of tofu. Uh,
Nice. That would be good.
but the way I like it, I like both ways, but the way I like to eat it when I'm at these night markets is deep fried. So they'll deep fry it, and so it has this crispy outer layer, and the inside's, like, more chewy,
Mhm.
and then they add sauce and pickled cabbage next to it. So you stuff it with some of the pickled vegetables, you have the sauce, and you eat it on the go. So I like to hold it, I'm eating it, and I'm looking at all the next food stall that I wanna try.
Mhm. Nice. That sounds like a great experience, honestly.
Yeah, you have to go. I would say of all like, of Asia, Taiwan probably has the best night markets. Like, I've gone to
Wow.
night markets in Japan, like I went to Kyoto or it was either Kyoto or Osaka.
Mhm.
Um, I've gone to the ones in Korea and Seoul. Hands down, Taiwan's the best.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like I've watched some YouTuber travels and everything and just seen the way that they document the different kinds of night market experiences. I've heard that Singapore has a really good night market scene as well, but yeah, it sounds like such a fun time. It just sounds like a great way to go and get something good to eat after a long day. Was it very crowded there? Are there a lot of people who go to these markets?
Yes, it's basically you can basically touch the person next to you. Like, it's that crowded.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That's so cool. It definitely sounds like a great experience to just, I don't know, just go, and especially if you've never really tried any of those foods before. And actually that brings me to my next question, which is if you are going to a night market for the first time, no matter whether you're in Japan or Taiwan or Singapore, anywhere, what would be a good tip, a good trick of the trade, so to speak, for navigating a night market and figuring out what to try, what you might not want to try? Like, would you have any tips for those of us who would like to go to night markets one day but don't have never done it before and it's a little intimidating?
Stay away from raw foods.
Gotcha. Is that like
Uh,
any raw foods, like fruits and veggies as well, or is it like, do you want to just stick with cooked things just in general?
I do risk the fruits. They have such good fruit in Taiwan, or just Asia in general. They have a particular. They hold their fruits at a high standard. So that is the one exception. I'll have papaya milkshake. That's my favorite in Taiwan.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah, so that I will risk. And if you're lactose intolerant, I don't know. You have to make your own decision on that, if depending on yourself. But we have known people who've had they call it oajian, which is a omelet with raw oysters.
Oh.
They have gone to the hospital for this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Note to self. Note to self.
beware. Be aware.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably a good rule of thumb. Like, just, I don't know, like with seafood and everything. And that's the thing, because Taiwan it's an island, right? Like it's not like it's landlocked. It's not like it doesn't have any access at all to fresh seafood. But I can understand wanting to be a little bit in the same way that I would be cautious of seafood that I would come across at a state fair in the United States. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you want to hedge your bets a little bit.
Yes, exactly. Taiwan is civilized enough that you can drink tap water. Like, for example, in India, gotta be very careful. Drink only like bottled water.
It's the same in Mexico too, I think.
Yeah, when we went to India, I actually brought a portable stove just in case I wanted to make things even a little hotter, make sure everything's killed.
Mhm.
Thankfully, I did not get sick in my India trip.
Because
But
that's the
that's
thing, like India would be so fun. I feel like there would be so many good foods to try, but there would be a part of me that's not like my microbiome. My body is not used to these foods. There might be some things that, even with stuff that's prepared, it might still hit me wrong. So yeah, I feel like it's good to think about.
yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying that you should travel with a stove. I have traveled with a little mini kitchen before, and that is not light traveling.
Yeah, yeah, that might add a couple pounds to your suitcase.
Yes. But as I was saying, when you're away from your kitchen in another country, you might still want to cook because, like, you might be just like missing some flavor from home or something that this new country doesn't provide.
Yeah, like you want some kind of comfort food, especially like you were saying, if you do end up having a stomach bug or something while you're away, you might want to have something that you know for sure your stomach can handle. It's going to be comforting. So yeah, that makes total sense. What all did you take with you for cooking on this trip?
Before we get to that, I will definitely get to it. I'm curious because you also did travel.
Not continental travel. This was just in the US.
It's across the country. I'm curious, what did you miss your kitchen? Like what are your thoughts when you're away?
Yeah, I think I miss the routine. Whenever I go and I travel anywhere, I miss having my routine. And I do miss, I didn't do my sourdough like I usually do because it just, traveling just messes it all up. And I'm just going to start fresh tomorrow with a new sourdough loaf. But yeah, I do miss it. I will say I loved getting to go back to North Carolina because it has such good food. I mentioned before we got spoiled when we lived in the Bay Area because of all the different kinds of cuisines that were there. And in North Carolina, you didn't really get quite the variety, but the kinds of foods that you did get and that you did get there are very good. So like the barbecue is
Mm.
incredible. There was a really good pizza place that we ordered from while we were there that I didn't like, I had forgotten about, and I didn't remember how much I missed it. There are a couple of different like bakeries that I've mentioned in episodes prior to this
Uh-huh.
that I've really enjoyed going to and I've missed. There's a Mexican place that was within walking distance of our last apartment.
Mhm.
And every time I would bring up going there, Ethan, my partner, would just be like, oh, pretend grumpy, but he was just like, oh man, I miss it there too. Yeah, but it's weird to not be in your kitchen, especially whenever you cook and bake quite a lot, like almost every day. And so it's like it throws you off your rhythm a little bit when you are in somebody else's space in their kitchen because it's you don't want to overstep or like just be like, oh, I'm gonna do all this stuff like in this kitchen that is not mine.
Did you find anything that was, like, perhaps, like, missing or maybe, "Oh, that's an interesting tool or gadget that this
Yeah.
particular kitchen had that you don't have that you might wanna integrate in the future?"
Yeah. My friends that I was staying with, they had one of those Ninja blender things.
Mhm.
And that was really cool because those Ninja products are not hashtag not sponsored, but those Ninja products are really well made, I think. And it was really cool just to see it in action because I've
Mhm.
never really owned any of those. We do have some of the like the pots and pans, but that's a
Mhm.
pot and pan. Like that's gonna just do what a pot and pan does. And we used the blender to actually make black bean brownies. We
Mhm.
found this one recipe in my one friend has this cookbook that is all about how to add a buttload of protein to literally everything you could eat. So we saw the black bean brownies and we were like, oh, that could be interesting. We're going to give this a try.
Mhm.
And rather than mixing everything up in a bowl like you do with regular brownies. This one was, oh, put it all in a blender. Let the blender basically do the work for you. And also, you had to blend it up because of the black beans, like they needed to be blended up. So that was cool to be able to see that in action. Although I feel like my food processor is just a KitchenAid food processor. I feel like that could also do the trick just as well. Yeah, but it was cool. I enjoyed getting to see a new recipe and help my friend make it, and we had fun making it together. That is the other thing that I enjoyed about this trip was that I got to bake with my friends, and that was fun.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
it is definitely fun to bake together, although we
Mhm.
haven't done that together.
That's yeah, we you and I have never done any baking actually together. And that is a crime, and that is something that must be amended post haste, please.
Yes, definitely.
So what do you find out?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
although I have been wanting to do like a road trip out to the Bay Area again just to see it, and I wanted to bring our dog along and just walk around Stanford's campus, and maybe while we're there we can do a fun little baking time and everything together and just I don't know, have some fun.
you are
Mhm.
always welcome here. I
Yay!
hope you do it this summer.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna have to make some plans. I feel like I already have so many plans already for this summer. This is why making plans with adult friends is like trying to round up a bunch of cats because
Yeah.
there's always something going on.
Yep, yep, exactly. Yeah, I think the reason why I think this episode is apt for this time of year is it's springtime, and a lot of people with, like, kids and stuff, spring break is a time to just get away, and so I wonder I'm not a mom, but I wonder how being away from a kitchen affects family routines, and if you got a picky eater at home, are they gonna be okay when they're away from home?
Like, how much do you have to prepare for all of the various inevitabilities? Just, I think that that's a good question. I don't know. I,
Yeah.
have
Uh,
kids, so I don't know.
yeah, if you being away from your own kitchen, you said it affected your routine. I can only imagine what it's like when you've got little kids running around.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely feels discombobulating, and I feel like just the stress of traveling in and of itself, like plane travel specifically, like it took me a good 3-ish days to really come down from that. Even though I spent the last week just in my own space, in my own environment, getting habilitated, reacquainted with everything. Like I wasn't even gone that long.
Mhm.
And the stress from air travel just, I don't know. I was up here and literally, and I had to slowly descend to just feel comfortable in my own kitchen again. But I'm curious. Whenever, so you did do some cooking while you were in Taiwan. Did that help? First of all, what did you make? Second of all, how did that help you? Did it help? Did it make you feel less homesick, or was it something that you did just because you were craving those specific flavors? Just tell me all about it.
Yeah, so I wasn't itching to cook. When you're in Taiwan, when the food's really cheap, you
Mhm.
get it fast, and it tastes delicious, there's no real incentive to cook.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
The thing that really motivated the cooking was for health reasons, really. Because
Mhm.
when you're out and eating out all the time, things are deep fried, they're like it's just they're optimized for tastiness and not necessarily for healthiness. And so I happen to have some I had some so I had a storage unit there and I had some leftover spices actually. So I had a pack of paprika, which inspired me to make goulash.
Ooh, very
I had
nice.
yeah, so I had leftover lentils, like 2-year-old lentils. It's
Mhm.
dried, so it's gonna last forever.
Oh, yeah.
And so then my partner and I got up one morning and I was really craving for a traditional Taiwanese breakfast and went and got from a food stall a Chinese it's called fan tuan, but it's basically a burrito, but instead of a wrapper, you're using glutinous rice to wrap the
Mhm.
filling, which filling traditionally would be like a Chinese churro
Mhm.
with fixins, like pickled mustard greens, and they call it pork floss, but in my case, it'd be vegetarian floss.
Mhm.
And that was, for me, that's traditional Taiwanese breakfast. And so I got that. And when we found the stall, it was part of this fresh, open vegetable market. So we walked down this thing, and I was like, oh, there's like fresh garlic, fresh onions, fresh
Mhm.
like, carrots. And I was like, oh, okay, I have some ingredients at home. I had the paprika, I had the lentils,
Mhm.
and all these beautiful veggies and fruits. And so we bought the veggies and fruits. It's so cheap. They're like cents. Like you
Oh,
buy potato and it's like just a few cents.
mhm.
And we get that and go home to our Airbnb. And I find that Airbnbs all over the world, every knife I've ever used has been dull. It's
Mhm.
so there's for a while I traveled with a knife sharpener.
That's smart though, especially if you know you're gonna be at an Airbnb. If you're just going and you're gonna be in just like a random hotel or something, might not be necessary. But if you're going to an Airbnb, you know that you're probably gonna be cooking at some point. Probably not the worst thing to have on hand because a dull knife is dangerous. It's even more dangerous than a sharp knife. Good call.
Yeah. And in my case, it was just like I had in storage in Taiwan, I had a mini kitchen setup already. So I had a sharp knife, I had utensils, I had a little pot, and I made goulash with it.
Very
I
nice. What went into the goulash?
so I the lentils. So
Mhm.
typically goulash is meat heavy. It's
Mhm.
like basically meat and potatoes with like carrots and stuff and onions. So I had all of that, but instead of the meat, I had the lentils and tons of paprika. You cannot skimp on paprika if you're making goulash. I learned how to make goulash in Austria, and it is delicious. And so I don't think there's a whole ton of Austrian restaurants in Taiwan.
Probably not. I would stake my claim that there are probably not a whole lot of them.
I have not seen a single one, and it was nice to have some Western flavors while I was in Taiwan.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. That sounds awesome. Yeah, and especially just I don't know, because you were there for about 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Like whenever you travel, I very much can understand wanting to spend most of that time just enjoying the foods that you don't normally get to enjoy, and also taking advantage of not having to cook because it is nice to have a meal prepared for you. You don't have to do the dishes afterwards. So a lot of that is something you want to take advantage of. But I feel like and I don't know if you're the same way, but I definitely hit a threshold where if I'm gone from my home base for long enough, I
Mhm.
definitely start feeling a little bit like not over it. That's not like the right thing
Mhm.
to equate it to, but I definitely start feeling like, oh yeah, I really am wanting something familiar, something comforting, something that the flavors aren't something that I have to get used to. It's just easy. So I don't know. I feel like that's a nice way to break it up a little bit.
Yeah,
So mhm.
yeah. So,
Very cool.
do you have any other travel plans this year?
I will be going back to Pittsburgh a couple times. My one best friend is coming out here later in the summer, and we might go. We don't really know where we're going to go yet, but we want to have a little road trip adventure just in Colorado. And I'm really hoping we go to some kind of like a historical kind of town because I'm a nerd for that. But yeah, no matter where we go, I'm sure it'll be fun. And yeah, I think that's all for now. Oh, and then I'm probably like a trip out to Nashville for a work thing, but that won't be until September. And then maybe go back to Pittsburgh again for Christmas. If
Mm.
we're still here, we might not be.
Oh.
We'll see. I
Mhm.
don't, yeah, everything's crazy.
Yes, yeah, right now it's a little bit crazy in the world.
Yep, pretty much. And that's why we got to take things one crisis at a time. And
Yeah.
that's all we can do.
If there is a country that you wanna visit in this entire world, like, what's the first country you would plan this trip for?
Ireland. I've always wanted to go to Ireland, with Japan being a very close second and
Mm.
Spain being a very close third. But yeah, I've always wanted to travel to Ireland. I feel like it would be I feel like it's a beautiful country. We have on my mom's side two different grandparents from County Cork and County Limerick.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it feels like a really fun place to be able to go and spend some time and just enjoy the sights and everything. So, yeah, definitely would love to go to Ireland. But yeah, I got to get to Japan. I really want to go.
Yeah,
So that would be and more excuses to learn of other languages too. I've
yeah.
always wanted to learn Irish. I've wanted to learn Japanese for a long time. I got to
Mhm.
keep up with my Spanish. That's like very hard to do whenever nobody speaks Spanish.
Hey, you do know a few people.
I do know a few people, but I don't speak to them on a daily basis.
I see,
So
I see.
I need
Yeah.
to keep up with those guys. But yeah, it's all good. Just definitely have future travel plans while I still have a valid passport and everything because I got it not last year, but the year before. I want to make good use of it. But yeah, travel's not easy all the time. And
Especially on that horrible Frontier airline that like, you could have
I
gone to Asia in
I
that
know.
time.
I know. Oh my lord. I am never using Frontier again. Hashtag not sponsored.
Of course not. Maybe we
No.
should delete edit out that name.
Do you want and here's the thing. They pride themselves on being like the cheapest airline, but by the time you add on literally any item that you want to bring on the plane with you, whether it's a purse or whether it's like an actual carry-on suitcase, by the time that's all added on and you have chosen your seat or even if you don't choose your seat, like you're charged for literally everything. So by the time that's all said and done, you're basically paying the same amount that you would have if you had gone with another airline. And
Mhm.
also, I didn't tell you the juiciest freaking part of my travel adventures. So we were delayed for so long
Mhm.
during our flight from Denver to RDU
Mhm.
that the Frontier basically was like, "Oh, we're so sorry that you got delayed by 4 hours basically. Here are some vouchers for meals or snacks in the airport, whatever.
Mhm.
You only got 24 hours to redeem those vouchers, and they could only be redeemed in the airport, and they could
Mhm.
only be redeemed at certain vendors for certain snacks and meals and things.
Oh my
And
god.
it's that was only valid after we got off of the plane, by which time you're ready to just get the heck out of the airport anyway. And you had to like hook up your credit card to it. It was a whole big thing. So like even I'm sure that this is something they do so that they can in a legal way be like, oh, but we offer the
Yeah.
and it's but you don't really. You make it so impossible to redeem anything, and it shouldn't even count as that. So they've lost me forever. I don't going with another airline. I'm never doing Frontier again.
They've lost me as well, even though I've
Thank
never
you.
flown with
Appreciate it very much. And the fact that they made us the for whenever because like we were delayed for 30 minutes an hour before, and then they had us get on the plane, and then they were like, "Oh, we don't have a second pilot." And then we had to deboard and then wait another 2 hours. And it's just, can you please just get your shit together before you have people get onto the plane? I feel like I can understand extenuating circumstances. I'm not casting any blame on the crew or the pilots or anybody. Get your shit together before you have people get onto the plane. It's not like I would much rather have to wait an extra hour just in the terminal than get on the plane, get off the plane, get on the plane, get off the like it's
Yeah.
no, please don't make us do that. That's and then try and appease us by giving us coupons. And it was like $30 worth of airport food, which is maybe one sandwich, maybe.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh man, I'm so sorry for your experience. Yeah.
I'm glad you had a better flight experience going to Taiwan. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I mine was on time and did not have to deboard the plane, which is yeah,
Good,
that's ridiculous.
good. I'm glad for you. Happy for you. Congratulations. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you for letting me
yeah.
vent. I needed that.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. And every listener will now be on your side and boycott Frontier.
Yeah. Fuck 'em. No, could even though I am telling the truth, could this also be considered for a defamation lawsuit? Is it still defamation if it is the truth?
No, I don't think so. They are yeah, this is totally game and they should like it'd be great if they heard it.
I honestly, they probably wouldn't do anything even if they did. They're gonna do what they do because they're a whole big giant corporation, and they're going to give the least possible amount of fucks in order to keep just doing what they do. So that's yeah.
Did they feed you on the plane though?
They did not. No. And actually, that was the other thing that pissed me off, and they lost me forever. They had the drink cart coming around because normally, like, whenever I've flown like American or Southwest or anything like that,
Uh-huh.
and if it's like a 3+ hour flight, which this was, they will be like, oh, here's a little packet of cookies, here's a little like soft drink or whatever. They charge for literally everything. So they came by and I was like, "Can I have a Diet Coke, please? Because I need my refrigerated cigarette." Just I know it's not good for you. I don't ever drink Diet Coke other than like very specific situations. And they're like, "Oh yeah, can I have your credit card, please?" And I said, "Fuck the absolute shit out of this entire flight." I'm done.
Oh man. They could have redeemed themselves by just one Diet Coke.
Yeah, yeah. No, you can't. And I will say that the flight crew was very nice. Everybody was like, "We're so sorry." This. So I am in no way blaming them at all. This is coming from the top, and we got to bring them down.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't mean to turn this into Robin Kvetches about Frontier.
We
Thank you
could
for listening.
relabel it.
I appreciate it. But
Oh,
anyway, I'm glad that we are both back safe and sound, and now we're gonna be cooking more in our kitchens.
yep,
And
yep.
hooray!
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, would love to hear if you're listening, comment on what you do when you're away from your kitchen. Do you
Yeah.
cook?
Yeah, do you take advantage of not having to cook? Just either way, we'd love to hear it. If you've gone on any fun adventures lately and you've tried something delicious, we would love to hear that as well. Just from anywhere. Hooray. Good stuff.
Yay. Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you for joining. We will see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
That's it for this episode of Cozy Kitchen.
We're so glad you stopped by. We can't wait till the next time you join us by the fire. See you later.